Hey, nerdy sports fan here. We're talking week 16 NFL action. We're almost at the end here, guys. It is fantasy football championships this week. That's right. And I'm in them. Weird. You would be too if you listened to me. So anyways, we have this week the Baltimore Ravens going to visit the Cleveland Brown stains on the mattress. Baltimore is going to just run all over this team. Cleveland has a chance. Obviously, they beat Baltimore earlier in the season. But it's not a good one. They need Baker Mayfield to play angry. They need him to play consistently, too. He can't be turning the ball over like he was early in the season. He has to find Landry. Landry is the safety blanket. And they have to utilize Nick Chubb. They have to lean on Chubb for this offense. They don't have the offensive line play they need, I think, to dictate the pace of game. So they will have to just do their best to stay on the field. It's not I'm going to run the ball, what are you going to do about it kind of situation like you get out of some other teams, like, the Ravens, for instance. But they can run the ball well with Chubb. He's one of the best fantasy production running backs in the league. So it can be done. And if there is a weak spot of the Ravens defense, which no part of their defense is weak, but their run defense is not as good as their pass defense. So you need to be able to rely on the running game. You need to be able to consistently stick with the running game, regardless of how far behind you are. Because it's the only thing that's going to keep you in. You got to stay on the field. You got to continue to keep drives moving. Only thing you can do. You need to dominate time of possession, I should say. Keep Lamar Jackson on the bench as long as you possibly can. That man on the field, every single drive, likely to end in a touchdown. Likely to end in a touchdown. So, the great defenses of the league have been able to stifle that. The Bills, just, a couple weeks ago, playing this Ravens squad, held them. I mean, they only scored 24 points, and they really had to work to get that. The Browns are not that defense. Nowhere near. Nowhere near. So they need their offense to be their defense. Their offense needs to stay on the field, keep the defense rested. The defense needs to be extremely creative, and they need to guess right. I said it. They need to guess. They need to guess if it's going to be a run or a pass and sell out and hope they guessed right. That's the only way you are going to compete with this offense, with this defensive squad. Only way. Because of all those things that Cleveland needs to do to win, they're going to lose. They're going to lose bad. Because they can't keep all that up. Because you can say, hey, Cleveland needs to do this. Cleveland needs to do this. Cleveland needs to do this. But then you got to remember, the other team gets paid too. And with John Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson, Greg Roman, they've got a lot of talent at the leadership positions. Somebody's going to be able to make a change, either on the field or off it, if they're having a bad go of it. And any amount of adjustments that you can make or have to make, it's going to work. Okay? Because Cleveland has one chance, one plan that can work. Baltimore's got options. All right? They can knife you through the air. They can knife you on the ground. They can have their defense just dominate you, force you into turnovers, and score themselves. They have options. They have so many different ways they can beat you, and Cleveland has one way they can win this game. So the Ravens are going to dominate. It's a 10-point spread. It should be. I think that line's pretty good, actually, so I wouldn't bet this game. But if I had to bet this game, I'd put it on Cleveland because I think this is the kind of game that Baltimore is just going to get ahead, cruise, and have their backups play in the fourth quarter. And in that time, Cleveland will catch up enough to make the scoreboard not show how dominant the Ravens were. That's the kind of game I expect this to be. Fantasy football-wise, as I said, the Browns' only chances lie in the hands of Jarvis Landry and Nick Chubb. They need to be started. They will be featured in this game. Landry probably will not have his best game, but because of target load, he will still have a consistently good game. And what you really need in fantasy football championships is to know that your guy is at least going to meet his projected stat line. And if he doesn't, come very close. You cannot afford to have a guy just put up 2 points for you. You need that 8 to 10 mark that they're expected to get to be at least close. So Landry, because of target volume, is going to be close to his projection. Chubb, because of volume of use, will be close to his projection. You can't really have the flyers. Odell might have a good game, might not. You need to bench him. Kareem, touchdown dependent, might have a good game, might not. Need to bench him. You need to have your consistent studs in this game. So, Lamar Jackson, guaranteed start. Mark Andrews, guaranteed start. Mark Ingram, guaranteed start. The only flyer kind of person would be Hollywood Brown. They don't need the passing game. Do they really benefit from having the deep ball option? Absolutely. They're a run-heavy team, and reminding people now and again, hey, watch out for that deep ball, really helps the offense open up the run. But that's what it's used for. It's not used for a primary weapon. It's there to assist their primary weapon. So is Hollywood going to get a deep touchdown? Or is he just going to get a 40-yard bomb to pull the safeties out of the box? It's a gamble. So if you're desperate for wide receiver, put Hollywood Brown in there. Sure. If you're not desperate and you have consistent players, like even a Devontae Parker, they're better options. Trust me. Leave them out there. And bench Hollywood. The Ravens defense needs to be started in this game. Needs to be started. They are going to have turnovers because the Browns are going to be desperate. The Browns are going to play desperate. So Baker will put the ball in positions for Jimmy Smith and others to pick off. And they're going to. They're going to sack him. They're going to pick him off. It's going to be ugly. Start Baltimore's defense. They will win you the finals. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Hit the rest of the videos I have for more fantasy football advice. Thanks, guys.